Alright, where did we leave off? We got Steps, another visitor. This one decided to come through the door for a change. Is he drunk? He seems unwell. What does he knock over any of my shelves of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way? Alright. He's not just unwell, he looks like hell. Literally, all the skin on the left side is torn off from the jaw of the temple. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. I need to be careful, I don't want to become the next victim. You look like a Terminator at the end of the second movie, buddy. A Terminator who just wrecked my entire floor. Give him a thumbs up. How's life, sir? Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. When will the Lord take my sinful soul? Break down in tears. You don't want to work here anymore. I don't know. That thumb is going to end up in your ass. Why, though? Given a threat in that tone, not just a thumb, I won't think any further in that direction. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising of a man without half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. I need blood. He tried to smile. It'd be charming if he had all the necessary muscles for that. Now it will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again briefly to clear his throat. Mine? Don't kill me. I'm already having a bad streak in life. We don't do transfusions here. No IV drops, just discount rot. How about tomato juice? Strong vintage. Let me see what we have. Last one. Yeah, good choice, pretty boy. Step to the storage. Just in case. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Go and find me some goddamn blood. Okay. Okay. A strange pressure builds in my head and the edges of my vision blur. An unyielding command blossoms in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel an incredibly strong urge to find blood. Right now. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible? Or is it his own? I found myself in a storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustles and snorted suspiciously. So, where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Bob, where's the blood? Go to the food for mouth section. Go to the section supplies for self-propelling gearbox. Foaming body washes for leather bags. Items that inspire pensiveness. Food for mouth. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of the department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Dense energy blocks for chewing, infused nutritional flows, food afraid of heat. Infused nutritional flows? Here are endless shelves of drinks. Next to Coca-Cola are bottles labeled Liquid Regret and Primordial Broth. Now with nucleotides. Cans labeled Bropsy, Vodka Sholneko. I'd love to meet the person who came up with these names. I check each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of shits and giggles, but find nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid hemoglobin in a... Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? I go back. I hear knocking. It's the dry, rhythmic tapping of knuckles on a laminated countertop. It's not loud, but persistent and full of irritation. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Food afraid of heat. The coldest corner of the store. Large freezer chests and refrigerators with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen meats are gremlin cryo capsules. Among the... Okay, so liquid family. That's... okay. Oh my god. A huge freezer chamber. Matter of lesser life forms. Spare parts of human organisms. Spare parts of human organisms. This section reeks of formaldehyde and horror. Glass shards filled with murky liquids on the shelves where exhibits float. I try not to think about one of the containers holding the name tag that reads Kevin. Take blood of human organism, Kevin. Taste of unfulfilled dreams and unwarranted expectations. Taste blood of human organism, homeless. High content of cheap alcohol and tuberculosis. Take blood of human organism, Michael. Taste of efficient resource and artifact accumulation. Let's go with Michael. The blood in this jar has a rich, almost glowing ruby hue. It looks healthy and full of energy. Michael, whoever you were on top. Champion's blood flowed through you. You're probably something like an energy drink for the undead. And yet, here you are in a jar. That's something to ponder. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You? Already? His voice carries genuine surprise and clear relief. Good thing you weren't wandering around for half an hour. Bring it here. My client, dude, I can't talk today. I don't know what my problem is, but I cannot talk today. My client finishes the jar and then grimaces. Ugh, for crying out loud. What the hell is this crap? He reads a note on the jar. Michael. Well, you were a lucky guy, Michael. Too bad I can't kill him a second time. Tastes like happy family, a successful career, retirement account, and this jerk probably never had cockroaches. Get away from me, bug. At least he's now liquid Michael in a jar. He chuckles quietly. Yeah, there's something to that. Cool that you found human blood. Good job. You're smart. You're sharp, sorry. Glad it pleases you, sir, and glad you no longer want to eat me. Feel free to ask. It took longer to get the rat. To the rat? What? I mean, feel free to ask. He gives me a crooked smile from his newly restored roguelike face. I'm gonna wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. But while he's not here, I have the perfect opportunity to wipe away the bloodstains. Blood doesn't usually come out very well of things, of anything, really. Also, is that a face? Over on the right, in a hoodie. Okay. Let's see. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. Wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody's eating me. Whoa, he's roguishly handsome. He's looking so much fresher with the second half of his face, although his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. And just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. I'm David, by the way, a vampire, as you may have already guessed. What an incredibly interesting way to start an acquaintance, especially that part about the walnut. The walnut. Nice to meet you, Rekutsko. I'm Crystal, like champagne. I'm Rekutsko. Okay, Rekutsko. I knew Rekutsko once. He used to trade kidneys in a Venice I never did that, I swear. He was a good boy until he got packed up. He was trying to provoke me, deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. No kidneys for you. I suppose I'm also selling some kidneys now. Check the catalog. Yes, exactly 10 categories. A catalog? Do you seriously have a catalog? He leans forward, generally intrigued, peering into the catalog. Gremlin kidneys? Is that a delicacy? Why does both delicacy fuel and animal venom? Because it's a universal product. Want some? I do. Looks like I found my best customer for today. Now I have a vampire here and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is not to accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. Are you sure you're a vampire, not a chupacabra? They drink blood too. Since when do vampires wear leather jackets? Don't you guys prefer capes and ruffles anymore? Thanks for not eating me, David. In reality, you're still a bit shaken from what just happened. David lets out a quiet chuckle. The guy clearly expects people to be afraid of him. He might have looked lost when he first arrived here, but now, seeing my fear, he obviously feels right at home. It's not over yet. Although, you're too bony. And I'm sure you love to eat all that cheap crap, like instant noodles. People like that, their blood's just not tasty. Only if there's nothing more interesting than that blood. Only if there's nothing more interesting in that blood. So you don't like glutamine and cholesterol? They're the tastiest things in the world. So, sir, let's get one thing straight. I am not food, and I am not for sale. So does alcohol affect vampires too, and other things? What, got any suggestions? Of course, we have a fantastic deal on Solneco vodka today, only $10 for a case. After work? Would you like some mouthwash? It's, After work? David lets out a quiet chuckle. And how often do you flirt with people covered in blood? Maybe even after work. I wouldn't mind walking you home, especially if no one is looking for you. Yes, to answer your question, alcohol affects us. But you need a middleman. You find some junkie or alcoholic and pump them up. Then you get plastered and turned into the happiest vampire in the world. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. Damn mutts. Probably not all the wounds that have healed completely. And does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. Pointing at the wound. I don't want to help you, but my employment contract requires me to treat the creatures that come here. Let me help. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. You... what? You want to play nurse? Flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. Just a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that'll grow back on its own. I'm fine. If you don't let yourself be treated, my boss will lock us both into dimensional horror what will be cleaning toilets with a fork for 2,000 years. I see, you're afraid of doctors, huh? Such a tough guy, yet scared of getting treated. Say conciliatorily? You mentioned werewolves. It's probably not just a scratch. Let me try to help, okay? I gave him a chance to save face. Now we're treating him not because he's a vamp, but because he survived an epic battle. A direct blow to his ego. The guy immediately starts puffing up with pride. His eyes light up. Ha, I hope I didn't catch rabies. I decide to remain silent about how he's already pretty rabid. 4 against 1 in a narrow alley. You know, there's a myth about werewolves being damn noble, unlike us bloodsuckers. Well, that's a load of crap. One of them was hiding in a trash can, ready to jump out at me. My heart would have definitely stopped dead if it still beat. It would have just ripped apart from frickin' heart attack. I'm afraid I'll never be able to take out the trash again without fearing for my life. Judging by that distant look, he's plagued by flashbacks of what he's been through. David awkwardly moves his injured arm. Alright, hand over your first aid kit. I'm sure this won't be the last pack I'll have to take down. There are way too many stray dogs around these days. Damn you. Go ahead. Get out with your band-aids with Dr. Chocula or whatever you're selling. David sheds his jacket, shirt, and t-shirt, then settles into a squeaky stool. For fuck's sake. Next to the counter. He's about to face serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position. Dude, seriously, with me and talking today, I was doing just fine the other day. I swear to God, I was totally fine. But I need to slow down. Just take it slow. Just chill. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he was just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was just attacked by a werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me now is a coroner. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavy military-style metal box with faded label reading, Kit for Alternatively Living Organisms. Inside, besides standard bandages, there are some strange items, silver tweezers, vials of thick growing liquid, additional fingers, and, of course, an instruction manual, a cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states, determine whether you are dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternatively living subject if they ever wanted to eat someone's brain. David's clearly not a zombie. Move on to the next point. He glances skeptically at the pictures flashing in the instructions as I flip it over. Zombies, necromancers, abominations made of bones, flesh and cabbage swirl in front of his face like a mesmerizing kaleidoscope. And all this lives in the city sewers? I don't know how you're going to use bathrooms now. It'd be great if he didn't notice that. Why do I have to deal with all this? I steal a glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just clawed him up, or if he managed to kill someone too. My instincts, something out of the Stone Age, suggests that he could have. Guy's got a killer gaze. You see someone like him in an alley, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolves leave? Simple, you've got lacerations, clawed teeth, and a bit of saliva. Probably very contagious. As it says in the handbook. Yeah. David listens to this with pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal for valor. Something like that. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. Stroke his ego. Add at the end. Wounds from a real rabid beast, buddy. Shake your head. You really need to stop with these fights. They won't lead to anything good. Stop medical discussions and move to the next point. I read through what medication I need and grab the regenerating extract for alternatively living life forms. Now all that's left is to apply this stuff. I dip my fingers in the jar and... Suddenly he grabs my hand. Do something wrong and I'll rip your tonsils out through your ass. Okay. You need to calm down, sir. Stay in a calm, icy tone. Allow me to do my job, sir. I will be extremely careful. If you touch me, my boss will rip your soul through your ass. You know, you have fantastic talent for coming up with threats. You should write scripts for action movies. No way. I'm a pathetic, miserable, harmless cashier. This isn't just a response. It's a philosophical stance. Concentrated, all-consuming self-pity, existential capitulation. Sorry. Can't talk still. David is lost under its weight. He brought a gun to a duel and didn't expect me to bring my depression certificate. Well, yeah, you are just that. Watch your hands. Try not to let your tears drop on me. I apply the black goo to the wound. A puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. Restore some justice. Be more careful. My movements become slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles in his back and shoulders relax slightly. He's still wound up, but relief is starting to wash over him. Oh. Naturally, no thanks yous or pleases from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my ass every 5 seconds. Well, that wouldn't be so bad, if it was, nice. Distract him with conversation. You know, David, every noble knight needs someone to tend to his wounds after great battles. I gotta save. Because, geez, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. What are you talking about? What night? What battles? Found an alley stinking of urine against a bunch of dirty werewolves for territory on the outskirts of this godforsaken city. They tore my pants, and I had to take a new pair off a junkie who was lying in a puddle nearby. What am I? A knight of what? A knight of torn pants? As long as they're not stained, well, you get it. Say with pomp of a medieval wizard, you are a wolfhound knight. Oh, go to hell. David says this almost affectionately. It seems we're making progress in our relationship. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds really are healing. Scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? The question is asked in an astonishingly serious tone. He's driving me crazy. Even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. I just want to help. Truth. You're an angel of mercy at a dirty gas station. Why? David is confused. In his system of beliefs, action always equals benefit. I'm throwing a wrench into this flawless, long-running mechanism. Let's just say I have certain fetishes. Oh my god. Yes, I want to override that. Oh god, I don't know which one to choose. Let's see. I can't just watch someone's... Wow, God bless your noble heart. He shifts awkwardly. Clearly he's uncomfortable and unaccustomed to being the object of compassion, so he immediately hides behind yet another sarcastic comment. But what can I do? I feel sorry for every little kitten on the street. Sometimes I even feel sorry for especially large, nasty, troublesome kittens. It must be tough living with someone like that, huh? Bet you have 40 cats living in your apartment, and all of them are strays. David reads me like an open book. It's amazing that he can even read at all. Most of the time, help isn't altruistic. People always want something in return. Money, a favor, for them to take you off the hook. Helping people for no reason is like throwing shit against the wind. Alright, moving on. Screw this. I honestly don't care what's going on in your head. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought I didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe, so I don't scare off this rare exotic display of politeness. He says the word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. Just a couple more seconds and he's back in the front of the counter. So, the client is fed, clean, and healed. And yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter, and the tip jar is lacking. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead, he looks lost. David is deep in thought, in that dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. Can I do anything else for you? This isn't the best things to clash, buddy. But there's a vampire hotel 2 blocks down. Can I do anything else for you, sir? The seemingly simple question stumps him. David frowns and looks past me for a while before responding. Yeah, you can do something. Curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder, by regular human, does he mean an extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire, werewolf, or thieving gnome. Or does he mean my lack of criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a grey collar. Does your face always look that funny when you're thinking about something? I don't even get a chance to respond to his jab as he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David looks at me expectantly. What weaknesses will I have? And who were you before your bite? Who can find everyone wrong? Can you find everyone who wronged you in life and get revenge? A lot of things depend on who exactly turned me into a vampire. Who vamped you? I'm ready to tell you my decision. I don't think it's probably not good to ask who vamped him. We're gonna go over this. What kind of weaknesses will I have? Well, no more tanning, no reflection in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water is trickier. Depends on the situation. A steak works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite the challenge, actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without an invitation. No need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. David looks at me expectantly. I'm ready to tell you my decision. Excellent. He leans in a little closer, when suddenly, we hear a wolf howling. I don't even have time to blink before David vanishes. Now he's a little bat behind the counter. Listen up. Don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave, or you'll feel incredibly shitty. Trust me, if you rat me out to that mutt, I'll find a way to get out and twist your head off. The threat in his voice is completely lacking, mostly because the voice now comes from a very small, though angry bat. Werewolf. A werewolf is about to come in here now. Okay. The creature steps inside. Good evening, sir. A low, rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Can I pet you? I'm listening, sir. Apologies for this sudden intrusion. Edward, you can just call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. You haven't seen a vampire around here by any chance, have you? You know, young, a bit scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. You see, Here's the story. One of our packs nearly took out a vampire's sire and his offspring a few hours ago. It was a tough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to track them and found one of them. Well, more like a pile of ash where he once lay. It seems one bloodsucker off the other while he was weakened. Their family values are quite lacking. It seems patricide has occurred. David didn't tell me anything about it. Probably that's what had all these questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice on where to go next after killing his creator, but in a completely idiotic way. You see, sir, vampires are parasites on the body of our society. They drink blood, like mosquitoes, but unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. They languish in boredom with their immortality, and thus destroy human destinies, play with them, torment them, and derive a semblance of pleasure from their suffering. They are devoid of true feelings. I look at David, devoid of any feelings. He's shaking all over. So I would be extremely grateful for any help. Don't give David away. Grab David and hand him over to the werewolf. Let the werewolf leave a tip. No, I'm not ratting him out. I don't care if he doesn't leave me a tip. I'm not ratting him out. I ain't a bitch. Sorry. That bastard threatened me 5 minutes ago. But now he's small, trembling, and helpless. He's my bastard. I force a smile and say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines me closely. He's probably catching a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanor throws him off. Strange. Well, okay. If he shows up, just give a whistle. We won't far away from here. Good. We won't far away from here? Good night, sir. The werewolf goes off to his important wolf business. David crawls out of his hiding spot. You could have turned me in. He stares into my eyes as if trying to peer into my soul and understand what it's made of. And that would have been the sensible decision. And I'm glad you're not one of the sensible ones. There's a bug in my room, guys, and it's bothering me. David says this with genuine relief in his voice. He's grateful to me, and now doesn't know quite what to do with that gratitude. He clears his throat awkwardly. So, what's the answer to my question? What would you do if you were a vampire? His gaze reminds me of a lost fighting dog. Without a master, he's restless and can't find his place. What an advisor he picked. May the Lord help him. I take everything life has to offer. Travel, entertainment, new experiences. The world is full of wonders. And when you're immortal, all doors are open to you. One could enslave humanity, or at least one neighborhood of the city. You could learn so many things, read so many books, and even learn to play the saxophone. I'd probably take everything life has to offer. He chuckles. Still waters run deep and all that. Pity the road of an adventure led you to a stinky gas station. Maybe you're right. The world isn't limited to this lousy town. He says this quietly, almost to himself, looking out the window at the dark, empty highway. As if he's just remembered there's something beyond his cage of alleyways and gangland shadows. Oh, showdown, sorry. Here, for future adventures. Oh, I got a tip. David says goodbye and leaves. Gas station sinks into absolute silence. Well, that was quite an interesting encounter. I really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to. I survived another visitor. Seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Hooves? Oh. Okay. Before we get any further, we are going to stop here. Thank you guys so much for joining. You can already see in the little picture there that we've got someone quite interesting next. So, if you want to see the next one, go ahead and be prepared. It'll be up on Friday. This Friday, specifically. So, hopefully you're excited to see this. Like I said before, if you want to play this game yourself, it is down in the description below. It's free on itch.io. This is an incredible game so far. I'm loving it. So, thank you again. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.